what Fubara has done is just to do an unconditional release, or unconditional surrender, to exhibit his cowardice. I know that before now he had gone to London to see the president and all that. He's been busy begging. Okay, so what he has done is to cop out. All those people that I see there, I know many of them. I haven't seen anybody there that is Fubara's camp. It's, Nyesom Wike's camp dominating the meeting. So what it means is that Fubara has done an unconditional surrender. What are the details of that surrender? We would like to know. Has he now agreed that he will bow down, kowtow to the Godfather after the fashion of the Adelabu matter in Oyo State? Has he also kowtowed to the extent that whatever the Godfather says is what you will agree? We would like to know what the details are. And where does this leave all those youths saying, we are fighting for Ijaw Nation, we are fighting for Fubara, and those stomach-driven elders who were coming on television to defend Fubara? Did he consult them before going there for this unconditional, for this surrender that he has done? However, everybody is driven by their stomach, what they will eat, whether Godfather or the Godson, and all that. So maybe we should just look for what will happen next. Maybe now they will reinstate Fubara, and he will go back and be governor, and he will be the one to control the budget, that the National Assembly, the Senate has passed in line with Section 11, and then, of course, there will be peace hereafter. This is all about character. This is all about the politics of Nigeria and the role of godfathers. This is all about, after all, this same Fubara told us that he doesn't need the position. What he has shown, what he has demonstrated, looks like serious desperation. Even if we applaud the fact that President Tinubu is acting as a father, as a peacemaker, and is trying to ensure that no part of Nigeria is disturbed. Where does he leave Ibokete Ibas, who is, enjoying the position? He's from your state. All these cross-river people trying to go and do long truth in River State. Okay, maybe the president will change his cabinet within the next month or so. He can always find something for him. He can always make him ambassador, because he has shown that he's a man that can be used to pursue whatever agenda, big men ask him to pursue. They will find something for him. But I look forward to what the outcomes of this, surrender by Simi Fubara is all about. I rest my case.
Dr. Abati, justice for cross-riverians. Justice for cross-riverians this morning. But let's stay on Rivers State. As Dr. Abati has already pointed out in great detail, what happens to the people on the ground? Because there was a lot of inflammation, animosity amongst the populace. So will this lead to some sort of healing? Will this lead to some sort of reunification? What happens to the people who were used as pawns in this political puzzle? However, it's clear that a compromise has been reached. The question is, what is the compromise? What is at stake? And what is the precedent that is being set for the potential of future instances of this nature? So in thinking about this, I said, let me go back to the December 18 8-point agreement, because of course we know this is not the first attempt at brokering a peace deal between these parties. The president intervened in that 8-point agreement of December 18. And I thought, let's go back to the points of that agreement and see how that can relate to today. Point number 1 had been to drop all legal proceedings, as at that time, they said all court cases needed to be brought to an end. Now, at the moment, we know that the contentious court case is that from the PDP governors who are heading to the Supreme Court because of the illegality of the state of emergency. The question is, will Sim Fubara be able to convince the PDP governors to drop that case? What will happen to that case? Does this mean that Sim Fubara will just cross the floor and become an APC governor and leave the PDP governors to their case and to their pursuit of trying to find some sort of judgment and legal context to what we all feel is an illegality? Well, that stands to be tested. But that's point number one. There are still legal issues on the ground. Number two was a stop to impeachment proceedings. Ultimately, it is clear that there is no way a deal would have been struck unless Sim Fubara was able to ensure and get guarantees that he will not be impeached. So it's clear, as we saw Martin Amaule and members of that faction of the House of Assembly there at the party, at the meeting, and it's clear that for now, they will not pursue impeachment. The third point had been the contention of the leadership of the State House of Assembly. Again, we saw Martin Amaule live and direct at this meeting. No sign of Edson Ehie or any other of the assembly members who had been loyal to Siminalaye Fubara. So it's clear that, again, something that they reneged on in the original agreement looks like it has been ironed out, even though it looks to have been done so in somewhat of a coercive way. Number four, the last issue was the issue of remunerations to those to state workers. Looks like I don't think that particular issue right now would pose such a bone of contention, because as we've seen, the governor is no longer in charge of the budget. And that takes me to the next issue, is the issue of the budget that was originally 800 billion naira belonging to Sim Fubara has been jacked up to 1.4 trillion. And the justification by the sole administrator was that he added an extra 15% to make it more people-centric. Which people is it centered around? However, that niggling issue, again, has been resolved through the caveat of the sole administrator. The issue of appointees and commissioners who, as of that point, they had felt that new commissioners and appointees needed to be appointed. Well, we already know that the sole administrator has created his own caretaker appointees. Will those appointees continue on when the governor comes back? Is this part of the deal that he has had to accept? Because for now, the body language doesn't look like it's likely that he will come in and sack these appointees and bring in his own people. Last but not least, of course, there was the issue of the caretaker committees with the local governments. Now, the local governments have been a sore point and a sticking point. But now we see that Michael O'Day, a relative, if I may say that in loose terms, of the sole administrator, as they both hail from Cross River State, has been appointed the chairman of the Electoral Commission. So with local government elections likely to hold very soon, it looks like it's a no-brainer. So Siminalaye Fubara, unfortunately, looks set to be a lame duck governor who will serve at the behest of appointees chosen for him, local government chairmen who have been pre-selected for him as well, with a budget that he only has 85% knowledge of, but he is assured that he will not be impeached. Again, this is all just analysis. We wait for the final agreement, but it was important for us to refer back to the original agreement that had caused many of these issues.